Okay guys, so finally got my RTIC 30-ounce tumbler in the mail. Well, I say finally, I really ordered it about 3 days ago and just got it. Just finally decided to get it. I think we've all seen the tests where people are filling it with ice and leaving it inside against the Yetis, and it's been doing a great job. So I've been interested to see how it's going to do for me. Um, you know, Realistically though, I don't really think that anybody needs ice for 48 hours. So what I thought I'd do is more of a real world torture test. I'm in Florida, Jacksonville specifically. It's going to be about 91 degrees today. We're outside. I just took this thing out of the box and it's so humid you can actually see it's already getting some condensation on the inside just from the indoor temperature. So it's going to be really hot. I think the temperature is expected to be about 91 today. It's about, let's see here. It's about 9:40 a.m. in the morning. So I'm going to fill this with ice today, and instead of leaving it inside, we're going to leave it out in the sun and see how this thing really does, okay? So let's see here. Sure, it gets nice and full. Now, we're not doing anything scientific here. We're just basically going to fill this thing up. That's about full. There's no liquid in it, but I am going to take this. Here's my yard. We're going to come out here, and I'm just going to set it right on this electric box. So you saw the timer. Ice went in at right about 9:39, 9:40. I'm going to leave it right out there. It's already pretty warm this morning. We'll see what happens. Okay guys, I don't know if you can see here, it is about 11:03, so it's been about an hour and a half or so. I'm just going to check in on this. I'm not going to take the top off yet because, as you can see, there isn't much loss. There's a little bit of water down in the bottom, but not much, and I'm here to tell you it's hot today. I just checked the temperature. It's 89 degrees right now, really humid. I just mowed the lawn and feel nasty, so pretty impressed so far. Hadn't quite been an hour and a half yet though, so I'll be back in a while and see how it's doing later. All right guys, don't know if you can see it. It is now 12:40, so it has been just right at 3 hours since I put this out in the sun, and as you can see, we're down a little bit. I'll go ahead and take the lid off this time. There you go. There's some water in there. It's down, I'd say, probably an inch and a half. But overall, in these conditions, I'm extremely impressed already. I went into this knowing these things can hold 48 hours inside. In these conditions, though, I was going to be surprised if we made it 8 hours, but so far it's looking like it's going to do a lot better than that, so we'll see. It's been 3 hours so far. I'll check back in a little bit. Okay, so as you can see here, it is about 3:10. It's now been about 5.5 hours. Just kind of let it sit here for a while, and now we can see that it's starting to melt some. It's still really hot. It's up to 92 today, and as you can see, there's a fair amount of water, but I can just tell that's still very cold, and there's still a good deal of ice in there. So I think that we're easily going to make our 8-hour mark, or what I would be happy with was the 8 hours. So I'm going to put this thing back on here, seal it up, and we'll leave it. I'll be back in a couple more hours. Okay, so let's see if you can see it here. It is now 4:37. We are right at 7 hours. It's been sitting here all day. We are past the hottest part of the day, and it's going back down. It's about 85 degrees out now. And I don't know if you can see. Let me get this top off. So, as you see here, I mean, we're mostly liquid at this point. There is, I mean, there's a chunk of ice in there. You can definitely, I mean, it's still keeping the water cold. Oh yeah, water's still ice cold. But it has kind of started to dwindle pretty quickly here. I'll check it one more time, see if it can make the 8 hours. Okay, so we are, let's see, it's 5:35. We are like 4 minutes from the 8-hour mark that this has been setting out here. This is going to be the end of our test, so let's see how the ice is doing. I mean, definitely it is at this point mostly gone. If you can see in there, yeah, there's two basically big chunks of ice. Let's see. Yep, still very cold. You know, it may not have you know, made it as long as I thought it was originally going to towards the beginning of this test, but realistically I'm extremely happy with how hot and nasty it was outside today. Setting this tumbler on a hot metal electric box for it to make it a full 8 hours and still have ice in it, I think is pretty impressive. When the original Yeti version of this tumbler came out, you know, I saw it, thought, hey, that's great, $40, not for me. But for $20, I honestly don't think that you can spend better money for a tumbler. You know, if it's something that you're wanting to keep your drink hot or cold for an extended amount of time, it's a great product. So I think I'm going to go ahead and spend the money and maybe even try out their 60-quart cooler. Thanks.